It's Wednesday, August 12th. Welcome aboard to this edition of Barnstable Today. I'm Kevin Friel.
And I'm Andrew Gobio. Thank you very much for joining us.
We'd like to remind you right at the top that the meetings we cover are available on demand at the town's website. Check them out at www.town.barnstable.ma.us.
Outside once again, this time we're in Marston's Mills at Prince's Cove, and actually an absolutely beautiful location. We're here to talk about quahog propagation and county municipal government. Yes, the two are actually combined in this episode of Barnstable Today.
Just a little while ago, Andy had a chance to speak with propagation specialist Chris Clark right here at Prince Cove.
Joining us now is Chris Clark, who is in charge of the program here, working with the shellfish propagation, which, you know, this being a family show, I'm not actually sure how much we can show. But you must be thrilled with the success of the program. Tell me a little bit about what you guys are doing out here at Prince's Cove and Marston's Mills.
Well, I deal with the quahog seed and the quahog seed propagation program for the town. And we receive 1 million baby quahogs, quahog seed to us. This year we received it on June 5th, and the seed is typically about the size of a sesame seed. In no time it grows, utilizing the phytoplankton naturally occurring algae in the water and oxygenated water here. It grows in this floating upweller system we call a flupsy, and during the summer, we started already in July, but we expect in about a week or so to plant some more of the seed. About 300,000 will graduate from this system and bottom planted in various shellfish flats in the 3 Bay area.
How important is shellfish and the shellfish industry to the town of Barnstable?
Well, it supports a commercial fishery, and there are, I think, over 2,200 recreational shellfish licenses in town that are purchased not only by town of Barnstable residents but also non-residents. So it supports the recreational fishery, and the natural biomass and the enhanced biomass based on the work that we do helps cleanse the waters with this mass filter feeding process of all the bivalves, not only quahogs but also oysters and mussels.
So we've got 2,200 shellfish licenses. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know the exact number, but yeah, it's quite a few. It's been growing. I think we're about 100 or so, 100 to 150 licenses over last year, and it was also 150 licenses over the prior year. So it's
even in this downturn in the economy, we're actually seeing an increase in the number of shellfish licenses.
Oh, it's probably because of the downturn in the economy, because people are going to fetch their food, hunters and gatherers, and coming with a premier product. People pay good money for oysters and little necks in restaurants and fish markets.
You know, I don't know how many times in the course of what we do here in Barnstable Today, I think back of, you know, growing up in the town and what it was like. We've done something with the Hyannis Youth and Community Center, and the times skating over at Kennedy Rink, and to bring this full circle. I mean, I grew up, you know, I used our family license. We'd go clamming and quahogging all the time, and it's nice to see that not only is it continuing, but it's thriving.
Oh, it's thriving and growing. People not only utilize shellfish for their dinners, but for gifts. You know, it's a healthy activity. People do it just for the exercise. So we have been having a lot of interest and competing interest sometimes when it comes to fighting for a parking space at primary tides. Very good.
Now, you were actually conducting a tour of county officials and League of Women Voter officials here today. How important, generally, is the county government's involvement in what you're doing here? I mean, obviously, we're not just a town unto ourselves. I mean, there are 15 towns here on the Cape, so there has got to be some sort of crossover.
Yeah, we work closely with the county and county extension officials, and we're glad to have their support. Over the last few years, they have done a bulk purchasing of shellfish seed, not only remote set oysters, but also the quahog seed. And on behalf of all the towns, so the towns weren't competing against each other, they collected all our orders and presented for proposals to hatcheries, shellfish hatcheries, a big order so we could basically get a better price by putting in a bulk purchase for it. So it does two things, gets us a better price and also saves us the time of shopping and competing with other shellfish buyers.
Very good. Well, we appreciate the time right now, and once we stop rolling, you're going to tell us actually where you're going to seed everything, and just tell me specifically, so I'll be able to...
We hand out maps at the office.
Very good. So it's that
public
simple.
Information.
Very good. And as mentioned, this actually was precipitated by a tour of county officials and officials with the League of Women Voters.
this area is a extremely good place for us to grow the clams. We're glad to be residing or having our system here at the pleasure, bless you, at the pleasure of the harbor master. With the extreme flux of nutrients that comes from the Marston's Mills River watershed, the phytoplankton happened to be particularly plentiful here, kind of known as an algae tank to some of us here who grow shellfish. These silos, this is a dirty one I just had exchanged the clams from, grow on the bottom of this mesh, and they hang, 8 of these hang in each of our floating upweller systems. So here we have the clams sitting on the bottom of the mesh, and the water is drawn out through the cavity tank, which is hangs in the middle, from which these hang, drawing the water through these teal pipes, through the holes, and causing the water to pass through the clams on the bottom. So the clams, quahogs, hardshell clams, are constantly presented oxygenated water with phytoplankton and algae.
We had an opportunity to talk with County Commissioner Mary Pat Flynn. If we could, we'll start at the beginning. What are we doing out here today?
Yes, well, good morning. Nice to see you, too. We're here on a tour of the Cape Cod Extension facilities, particularly related to shellfish, which is why we're here at Prince Cove. And we're also going to be looking at some of the farms, the agriculture piece through the Cape Cod Extension programs, which now are becoming and having significant use, which I'm sure is relevant to the economy we face today. People are not only going out and obtaining their own shellfish to feed themselves, but they're also growing their own vegetables as a way to save money or at least to hold on to what they have. So we, as a new commissioner, having just been elected last November, this is a great opportunity because I've always wanted to actually see firsthand what the Extension Service does, and this is actually the first stop on our trip. So, and I can't remember all the places we're going to, but I know we're going to end up at the county farm.
Tell me a little bit about the importance of, as you may know, this is for Barnstable's municipal channel. Tell me a little bit about the importance of county municipal government and the relations between them. I mean, because this is going to be for Barnstable's town video channel. That's
Okay. Well, I think that Barnstable County really is the regional government for Cape Cod. And even though it has the name has not been used very often. We all refer to it as Barnstable County. But more and more regionalism has become more important, I think, to the various towns on the Cape, because now more than ever we're seeing budgets that have been decreased, not only by state aid, but a lot of programs have just been cut. And so towns are now looking to the county as a way to increase efficiencies in the services that they provide and hopefully have some reduction in the costs. So I think Cape Cod regional government is now more important than ever. And so it's important for the commissioners to really know what the county programs are, to get out there, see them firsthand, and know what is available and what we can do as a county to help the towns on the Cape.
Once again, County Commissioner Mary Pat Flynn here at Prince Cove in Marston's Mills.
Now, taking a look at the meeting schedule for the remainder of the week, we have an Old Kings Highway Historic District Commission meeting at the West Barnstable Community Center at 7 o'clock on Wednesday.
And Thursday morning site plan review is going to take place at the hearing room at Town Hall. For Kevin Friel, I'm Andrew Gobiel again from a beautiful location, Prince Cove here in Marston's Mills. Thanks for watching this edition of Barnstable Today.